First topic. Pete Rock is not interested in reuniting with CL Smooth. Mm-hmm. So recently on Sway's Universe, Sway referenced CL being on Drink Champs and saying that he was interested in working with Pete again and had this particular thing to say, saying like, CL's good. He doesn't need me.
Shout out to Nori over at Drink Champs.
Yeah.
Those guys do a great job over there.
Yes,
and I saw CL on there, and he was making his plea. You know, it's like, man, I would love to get back in the studio for the fans. What are you? Is that maybe, I don't know about now? You're doing something, but
I just think he's best on his own.
Okay.
As simple as that. I just think he's good by himself. There's a million producers that will do something with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Yeah, everybody's at different stages of life.
Yeah.
We all evolve, and it sounds great in theory, but if everybody ain't aligned, it doesn't happen.
Energy.
You know how it goes.
Energy? Energy.
That too. Right. That's the most important.
Energy.
So check this out. I saw CL on Drink Champs. I guess where this kind of started. And half of me says, because when he was like, man, we got to do this for the fans. We got to do this for the culture. Excuse me, which is something that we hear all the time.
That's what he referenced, yeah.
And it's like, we are actually from that era. Well, not, to the T, but we know them. We grew up on them. So I'm thinking, do the fans really want this? Or is this something that maybe just crossed his mind that he thought would be dope to get him back out there? I don't know what his tour game is like. I don't know if people pulling up to see him, but he kind of was like, man, I'm still out here performing and stuff. I'm like, that's cool, but if you get back with Pete Rock, it's going to hit different. I think he's smart enough to know that. And then as it relates to Pete talking about the energy, the older I get, the more I agree with him 100%. Because if the synergy's not right as it relates to the project, I don't care how long I've known you, it's not going to work.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can't force something that's not there. And if they're not on the same page and haven't been for years, then we all know it. Pete Rock and CL Smooth is our introduction to Pete Rock. True. And CL Smooth for that matter. You know what I'm saying? That's literally my first CD that I purchased was that and In Vogue, Funky Divas, I believe. That's the first CDs I had because I just got a CD player. But it kind of goes back to, do you want to cloud your idea of the group and the magic that they made back then with something new that's not going to work? That's just pretty much something to do at the end of the day. I don't want to say necessarily that it's a money grab, but it's kind of an ode to the listeners, us. But is it necessary?
The is it necessary part is the part. Because on one hand, I'm like, yeah, it'd be dope. But I got more excited about the idea of Pete Rock and Common because that's new. We hadn't heard that one before. So there's more excitement there. From a nostalgia standpoint, yeah, I could probably see it landing. I'm not going to count his pockets like Terry said. So that's true. But I don't know, man. If the energy's not there, it's just not going to work. And Pete Rock clearly sounds like, I'm good. No hate, none of that. I'm just good.
He sounds like he's cool off of it.
Yeah, he cool.
I can just tell from the body language, he is 100% not interested. And, he's got enough going on to where he doesn't even have to really dignify really responding to it. I don't think he really appreciated Sway bringing it up. It's kind of crazy. But Mecca and the Soul Brother, the main ingredient, all sold out, put all those projects together. It's some of my favorite music in hip hop, ever. And even the one-offs that they've done, like, I think it was Peace Instrumentals, Soul Survivor 2, where they did reunite for Appreciate. Yeah. Which is the song that I sneak into playlists all the time. And once again, even for that quick moment, it's like they recaptured that magic. Yeah. But, it's something I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't want to know what it is to where, they really are not interested in, okay, I want to say Pete Rock is not interested in working with CL Smooth, even if they're just going to they're going to keep it strictly business. Perhaps that's why those records worked before, because they didn't keep it strictly business. It was people's. But, now for whatever reason, it doesn't even seem like they are friends.
That just, as a creative, that doesn't make sense to me.
So
it just doesn't make sense to me.
I would love for them to get back together because I'm a selfish hip hop fan.
There we go.
But if that's not something, if their personal relationship is something that would bring stress and strife to whatever the creative process is, then I'm like, let's leave well enough alone, because you see what happens. You know, it'd be like if you're saying, man, I'd love to hear, you know, little brother get back out there with Ninth. Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. You can think of any groups, rock bands, hip hop, R&B, to where it's like that'd be something the fans would like, but you know, the relationship, and whether it be business or personal, between the members of the group makes it to where it's not feasible for them to create art in a comfortable environment. So once again, selfish hip hop fan would love to hear Pete and Rock and CL Smooth back together. But you also, I got this project with Pete Rock in common, which I think is great.
Sometimes when the lightning strikes, that's just it. I mean,
That's just it.
You don't get that a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let it be.
You know, it's unfortunate that, you know, we didn't get another that Tribe Called Quest reunion that was supposed to happen didn't happen until after we lost Fife. You know, probably if he was still alive, it might not have happened at all, which is really sad. But like I said, sometimes we just gotta let the classics be the classics, and not think that we can revisit that and it's going to be the same magic.